Welcome, everybody, or yeah, or whoever may be tuning in. Uh, the notifications come at weird times. Like I just got my notification to watch my own live. Sometimes I get the notification later. It just, I don't know. It depends. I don't know if everybody else's experience is the same, but it is what it is. How you doing, Baldy? Good to see you in here. Got trying to get organized. I was uh, I was eating and jumped in. Well, barely got in here soon enough to do the live and start setting stuff up. How you doing, Rob? It has been a very busy week for me, and I've got one more week before I go back to school, and I'll spend 2 days a week, 4 hours a day on the road. But this time I'm spending all day at school. So first class is at 9 and last class is like 3:30. It's going to be ridiculous. Um, I'll. Uh, it's 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 not going to be fun, and I'm not looking forward to it. My semester starts tomorrow. I had too much fun in the shop this break. Yeah, I've enjoyed my time in the shop too. Your garage is looking good, James. Thanks, Pete. There's actually room to work in there now, which is awesome. And y'all know how it feels when you're able to organize something in your shop, which my shop it shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to move stuff around but because I let it get away from me, yeah, I messed myself up. But now I've got tons of room, and you know, it's awesome. As a matter of fact, I wanted to do the live out there, but I waited too late to work on it. I'm gonna see next week. I'm gonna actually during the week. I'm gonna do a test live and try to do it from my iPad out there. Maybe even try to do it from my uh, laptop. I don't know. iPad to give me a little more flexibility. Doing well. Finally able to watch the. How you doing, Pete? I meant to ask you that. Doing well. Finally able to watch the cars after a month of tundra. Yeah, it's a month of tundra. I'm not quite sure what that means, but uh, loving the progress on the shop. Thanks, Baldy. Um, can let me know. I can keep an eye out for you. That will be cool. Frozen tundra hasn't. Okay, okay. I kind of was thinking that, but not really. I know what tundra is. It just yeah. So this week, sort of my last big focus. I'm going to try to do two things. One is I'm going to run the wire, not necessarily install it, but lay it all out. Actually run it but not staple it down into place because I'm not sure anything will change. But I'm gonna run it for the lights downstairs, and then run it for lights upstairs. One set of lights upstairs because it's already got light up there, and receptacles for upstairs. So there's going to probably be 2 or 3 runs of receptacles up there with 3 on each, maybe 4. I don't know. I think I can do up to 6, but I don't know. I may do three circuits with 3. 3 on my storage side of the loft, and 6 on the man cave side of the loft. I don't know if how far had I finished the loft last week when we talked? I don't know. I hadn't finished it yet, I don't think. Let's see. So I bought me some lights for the shop. I bought me some lights for the engine room, my clean room. And this is what I got. I'm hoping it'll be pretty decent. Let me show you. Let's see, share screen. Can y'all see them? So these are, they're pretty big. And that's sort of what I was looking at with them. I'm hoping it'll give me a ton of light. So it's just under 90 inches by 124 inches. So it's 12 foot by whatever 89 inches is. So that's cool. 119 bucks. Hopefully it'll work light. Yeah, a lot of people use them for details. It actually, some light will show swirls that other light won't. And they can both be just as bright, can be just a different shade of light. I guess that would be what it is. But we're going to see if that shines some light on the subject. Let's see, that would be cool. Frozen Tundra. Michelle and I are in the shop getting pickup ready for a service call early in the morning. So how do you do service calls? Okay. Let me rephrase that question because that's a broad question. In the winter like this, and you do a service call, do you do them outside in the cold? I know we've all worked outside in the cold. I don't like it at all. Am I afraid of it? No. I mean, I was in the military for 20 years. There was plenty of times I had to be out there and just freeze my butt off. And it was actually better when I was busy than when I was on guard duty or something like that and essentially sitting still or barely doing anything. That sucked. That was, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't fun at all. Guard duty was never fun. Any type of duty where you just sit, I keep saying duty. Any type of task where you sit can be, the boringness of it is horrible. But at the same time, those specific tasks, you don't want them to be exciting either, especially when it's guard duty in a real place. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool, Pete. Good luck with that. I hope it you can get it done in a fairly reasonable time that allows you to make good money on it. I don't know whether you'll charge them by the hour or by the job. So, so I got the, I've, have y'all seen, I've got the shop up and sort of ready. I, I don't have, I've just got the platform up there essentially, the loft. Uh, I've got a picture I want to show you. Maybe get some insight on it. If it's transferred over, and I don't think it is transferred over. No, I guess I've got too much on my uh they keep asking me to update my damn account, my my cloud account, and it's full. So the lot was pretty dang tight when I built it. And you could jump on it and it didn't move, period. But I put a small stack of lumber up there. We were still good. I pushed it back and then I put the gazebo up there, the ready to build gazebo. I put it up there and I thought I was still good. Now, nothing's wrong. It just, I'm in a position where I am trying to think, what I want to do, and I'll show y'all. Dang it. I'll show y'all what I've found. Let's see. Is your loft as strong as you thought it would be? I don't think it is. Or maybe it is. And maybe I'm expecting too much of it. Now, it doesn't sway or move a lot, but it does move. It moves less in the center than it does out on the edge. But if I can get it to come up here, I'm trying to get this picture off my iPhone, but it's aggravating. Load. Okay, where is it? It's going to be hard to see because they're so dang small. Go to large icons. Y'all might laugh at me when y'all see this. There it is. You see if it'll open it. Okay. Now I got to make it smaller. Wow. So just to give y'all, wife starts her master's program back up tomorrow. Awesome. Just to give y'all some point of reference. Let me open this up. This is the front beam. Can y'all see the pointer? I don't think it's showing. Let me turn it into a pencil. Can y'all see the little pencil there? This is the front beam. This, I put this 2x4, I just set it up there. We're in the center of the loft right now. I set it up there so I could mark it. There's a mark under here, and then have my 280-pound son jump on it. Now let me make it bigger. Oh, wrong way. Okay, can y'all see it? I'm kind of waiting on a reply. While I'm waiting, I'll try to explain it. Maybe everyone hears me. So the bottom 3 marks, I put them on there beforehand so I could judge the distance. I think they're 1/4 inch. I could be wrong. Okay, let's see. I can't. Come on, mark it. Okay. There's my line. Uh, well, okay. So bottom line, there's a line that you can't see that's right at the edge of the beam. The little mark right under it, right here, little mark right under it, all the way to that next mark is how far it moved. That first mark, because I put my pencil up there and he jumped, that first mark is a 1/16 of an inch. So then I went to the middle beam and I made another mark and had him do it again. And there's a little bitty mark right beside that that's a 32nd of an inch. So the outside moves a 1/16 and the inside moves a 32nd. Now that's not without all that weight on it. But the reason I did this is because me and my son were in there working after I'd put that load of stuff on it, and we heard a muffled pop. And if I got worried. And what I think it was, the outside beam, let me shut this off. I think it was the outside beam. Remember, I only nailed it and glued it. And I think the glue popped apart. The nails are okay, but I think the glue popped apart. We couldn't find anything else that might even closely, and it makes sense that it would have been the front beam and the glue popping apart. And I was a little worried about that because I'd seen where the glue wasn't quite as strong on other stuff. So I don't know. What I am going to do is I'm probably going to go ahead and put a row of bolts on that front beam. And I may look into other things. I don't know. I've always said that if it moved any, I would put a pole in the middle. But I still want to see if I can do something else, because right now there's about 1,000 pounds of lumber up there, and it's great. So I'd clench you in that. Put your support board is on a floorboard. Be very different if it was a supporting joist. It's on the floorboard. But yeah, Rob, I did clinch. Good to see you here, Ron. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm good, but I just want to double reinforce everything, if that makes sense. Plus, part of the issue now, I think I pointed it out in another video. One of the issues with that front board is when I first slapped them together and I put the glue on the sides and slapped them together, I could have swore, I mean, I physically picked one of them up and turned it. You know, I couldn't pick it all up by myself, but I pick up one end, take it to the side, set it on something, pick up the other end, bring it around. So I tried making sure the bows were both in the same direction. And I get them together and they're not. So they're one of them sticks up on about 3/16 more than the other. So that could have a effect on whether it did the whole, you know, move the glue. So I'm gonna take my forklift, or I've got a under hoist support. I might take it and screw it up to the beam, raise it up just where I can't even see it, you know, raise, just take tension off of it a little bit, and then go across there and put bolts in it, tighten them down real good, and see how much that tightens it up. If I can get that outside to a 32nd of an inch, I'd be pretty happy with that. But he just had to support his floor, put a 100-gallon fish tank in with a 40-gallon sump. Ooh, yeah. And the problem with weight, yeah, he said the house started to wiggle until he fixed it. The problem with weight like that is it tends to it's concentrated in a smaller area, where a floor is designed to spread it out, but when you do that, it really, really focuses it in one area. Or am I thinking wrong? The board you put the marks on, was that supporting weight, or just being? It was just being a marker. It was just being a marker. It was like a ruler. I put it up there as a ruler, and my son jumped up and down on it, and it allowed the board to move down it so I could see how much it was. And with holding the pencil there, first I made the mark. I held the pencil there. He jumped on it and it moved it 1/16 of an inch. That may not be a good way to measure it, but yeah. I built a smaller loft in a previous shed, used 4x4 posts, really made it solid. You know, and I've thought about doing one other thing. I've thought about supporting the joists with a 2x4 underneath them, but a lot of these 2x4s are just what I've got. I might could you maybe the treated or stronger lumber, but the white pine I've got is super soft. But I've thought about putting something, run it behind that um, joist. Run it behind that main beam, and there's almost 6 inches of room there, just not. Run it behind there, right up under the joist, sort of help hold them in place too. But I don't know. But anyway, that's the follies of Jethro's garage. You have a solid anchor point in the rafters. Running a board. No, I'm. My rafters are 4 foot on center, and they are not really load bearing. Um, Putting a roof on there, putting a ceiling up there is okay, but I'm not putting. I'm not going to attach anything to there that will transfer weight or add weight. I'll build a wall, and that might transfer some, but I don't want to jeopardize my roof. And as it is, I've got all that weight with OSB and the weight of the insulation up there. So I don't want to transfer any of that weight up there. I think I can fix it by doing something underneath, just shy of putting a post in the middle. Um, Tonight's, I was disappointed. This is another one I was disappointed in. It's Colonel Taylor's Straight Rye. It's 100 proof. It's a bottled bond. Um, this doesn't. I don't think it tells me how long it was aged. Comes in a nice little. Had this bottle for a little bit. Yeah, they don't tell me how long it was aged. That stinks. But hopefully, now that it's oxidized a little bit, it'll be okay. I think I think my pores have been getting a little bit more every week. What do y'all think? Uh, Cheers. Hmm. I don't know. I need a bigger glass, or I think you were trying to say you need a bigger glass so it looks smaller. uh, I like my little Glencairn. I've got some bigger ones, uh, but I think they do something with the flavor. I think they make it. I think they make it taste better. Tell her I said cheers back. Uh, Vodka and Fago. Okay. So last week I did have the heater running, and it has run great. I haven't had any problems with it all week. That being said, it's been not as cold. So I try to keep it on about 62 to 65 when I'm in the shop. It's according to how hard I'm working. And then I turn it down to 50 when I'm not going to be in there. I imagine it ran out of fuel. I haven't been in the shop at all today. So um, I imagine it's out of fuel. And I need to go out there because the temperature has dropped back down again. It was in the 50s this week, and now it's 28 degrees right now. Today's temperatures were 25 to 35 supposedly. So I think it gets back a little warmer one day next week and then gets back cold. So we'll see. I started on a project. This was my next. I'm segueing into my next topic. Part of my issue is projects. I see something I want to do. I get the stuff for it. I don't do it. Or I start on it. Something happens and I don't finish it. Case in point, that toolbox. When I first got it, my plan was to build a stand, the perfect height to put that on, and it looked kind of nice, fit with the furniture in here, and it'd be something neat. So my whole idea was pipe, build me some pipe furniture. And so maybe last year, I don't know, I built the pipe. I mean, I didn't build, I bought everything I thought I needed. Haven't touched it. Haven't touched it. Last night I finally started, or yesterday I finally started trying to fool with it. And let me tell you, I don't, has anyone else here threaded pipe 1 inch or bigger? Let me know in the comments. It's not easy. Now I don't know, I'm doing it manually with a manual pipe threader, and it's an old reed. It's a real old reed. And first problem is it doesn't want to start. It just keeps grinding down the outside until it finally starts. I'm thinking my dies are dull. I'm thinking they are. If you've done it before and you know what it does when it's dull, let me know. Part of me feels that I'm using the wrong size die, but everything I've got, I think it's 1 inch pipe, it's 1 inch inside diameter, and the threads on the stuff that was already threaded fit the die, but that same die doesn't seem to want to start very well on the other ends that I need to put, threads on. And it's just, oh man, it's a pain in the butt. It is kicking me in the rear. I've only got four sets of threads cut. So I've got the bottom pieces. I'm making a bottom shelf and a top shelf. And so I'm going to have 4 pieces coming up, and I'm going to do T's in the front for the bottom shelf and a 4-way in the back, so that I can I'm going to put bars on the side, and I'm going to put 1 in the back. And then on the next shelf, I'm going to do 4. So it's going to take across No, it's going to take something weird. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll be able to do it. I don't know. But I'm going to do it all the way across. So I don't know if I'm going to have what I need for it or not. We'll see. But I don't have what I only bought a bunch of tees, and I for some reason I thought that would work. Okay, that's all that's at the shop. Yeah, projects. Not that big, but it sucks bad on the wrist and hands. It really does. And I don't have the right lever, the bar for it. I started out using a small bar, and I'm like, this is kicking my butt. I went and found me a jack handle for one of my pump jacks, and it would get to a point where it was still tough. And then I went and got my big Mayhew Dominator pry bar, and it works pretty good. But I still have to put my weight into it when I get up toward the end of the deal. Still have a lot of unfinished projects. Hey, it's not a bad club to belong to, but it can get frustrating. I mean, just like the gazebo that I put up in the loft that I decided to take it back down because I felt it weighed a little bit too much. That's an unfinished project. And I tell you why it's a part of the reason it's unfinished. Part of the reason it's not put up yet. And it's not the whole reason. Probably the biggest reason is I have made time for other things over it. But another reason that it's not finished is we wanted to strip the deck down and repaint it or restain it. And the last time me and my wife talked about it, I haven't re-engaged. She wanted to try to I can't strip everything off of it without a whole lot of work. I'm not willing to put all that work into it. In other words, sanding. It's a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of time. So I want to just go back and stain it over the same color, but she wants it to be natural. And so here we sit over a year later, and the gazebo isn't put up because I don't want to put the gazebo up till I get the deck painted because the gazebo is, finished. What do y'all think? Just go ahead and, well, I've got to wait till some nice sunny dry days before I do it now, but yeah. Where was I going with all this? Projects? I don't know. Unfinished projects. Sold your place instead of finishing projects. 1-inch pipe tap but no dies. And I've got a die but no tap. Is it hardened pipe and the teeth not made for hardened? But that's still thick stuff to thread. I don't know that. And I don't know if I can figure that. I don't know if I can find that out. I doubt Home Depot still I don't know when I bought it. Let's see. If I bought it in the last year or so, or 2 years, I think I'll be able to see it. Purchase history, all available orders. Let's go to the very last one. Plier test. Trees. Okay, maybe it is in with this. I think this is it. Schedule 40 pipe. That's all I know. 1 inch by 6 foot black steel schedule 40 pipe. That's all the information I've got. So maybe you can tell me whether it's hardened or not. But my dies are old. When I say old, I mean old. Let me see if I can jump in the comments here on my phone. Maybe I can throw a picture in there on the comments and be easier to do that. My YouTube, Sunday Night Live. Let me turn the volume down. Chat. No, I can't throw a picture in there. Okay. Well, anyway, it's an old reed. It's got the patent numbers on it. Let's see. Where is my? I can tell you in a minute. It's the actual pipe threader is a number 84. It says patent pending. So you know it's old. The kit comes in a wooden box. So y'all tell me if you know anything about that stuff, tell me. Okay. Sold your place instead of finishing projects. I thought about that. Y'all, I have all these things I want to do. Okay. Don't shoot me. Some I need to do, and some can wait. Like I need I need a lean-to off the end of my barn or shop or whatever. I really need to put my toy hauler undercover. That would be great because I've got leaks that have developed and I really need to get that took care of, but it doesn't get the attention that it requires. So I kind of need that. Plus, I want to put my air compressor outside under it. I want to, there's a few more things. Maybe park my tractor out there, stuff like that. Okay. But what I want to do that I can't afford in no way, shape, or form is there is a picture that I used as a thumbnail for one of my first shop videos, and it shows an old garage with the old like stepped front, the old block stepped front. That's what I want to do. I want to put it on the road, the end that faces the road. I want to build it. I want to do it probably about 20 foot, maybe 25 foot deep, and then all the way across. And it won't go all the way up to the peak of it'll go up, a normal story and a half, whatever it would normally go. And you will still be able to see my building slightly from behind it. And then it will be like the super nice garage that I just park stuff in, that's finished, real nice product, my motorcycle or the Fairlane when it gets finished or something like that. That's the dream. That's the dream. And it is a dream. I understand that. Please understand. I do not have the money for that. It will probably cost me 75 to 100 grand to have it done. And there's no way, that's going to happen. So, because it's not something I think I'm confident in doing myself and making it look right either. But I want it to look vintage, Good plan. Let's see. losing a lot of garage space. Wife hopefully happy. We're 7 uh, with smaller house, less to take care of. Yeah, I understand. Me and the wife have flirted. I would I would love to have the convenience of a little bitty place downtown. Other than the neighbors, which I don't want neighbors, so that would be the problem. Um, I would just love the convenience, but I have to have my garage. I have to have it. So in my crazy dreams, I would rent one of those old buildings downtown and turn it into my garage or something. One of those real old buildings, brick that maybe used to be a car dealership or something, and had been a factory at one time and all kind of other stuff. Ain't I crazy? Jeff is making a law for his man cave after that statement. After what statement? After what I said, or um, I'm not enjoying this quite so much. So, um, yeah, it is what it is. It's the proof of the alcohol isn't what I'm tasting. It's the um, aftertaste of it is a real bad aftertaste, and I'm not too happy with it. And I love a rye, and it's peppery and spicy, but yeah. Okay, okay. Uh, yeah, I need to get that done for two reasons. One, because it needs to get done. It's been, since if I look it back up, I don't know. I've had it for at least 2 years, maybe a year and a half, and it needs to go. Um, because I bought the loft stuff quite some time before I bought the pipe stuff, and if I can get a date on the pipe stuff, it can help me sort of date when how long ago it's been. So I bought the pipe stuff last year in February. So maybe it's been a little over a year. Ask the wife. She will remember to the day. They never forget. You no, no, and we let's not talk about that because it bothers me. The whole things don't get forgotten. I will forget something until it gets brought up. But good or bad, I'm gonna leave that there. Um, yeah, I know, man. I'm messing around. The bottom line, I gotta finish some projects. I've got car parts that need to be put on. I've got paint protection film. I bought it for my Harley when I first got it 3 years ago or whatever it was that I haven't put on. I mean, it's just wasted money at this point. I can still put it on. The paint's still in pretty good shape. And this is custom cut, like it's cut specifically for the places that it goes. I'm horrible, but I'm going to get some projects knocked out. So that's the second thing I'm working on. That shelf is something I got to focus on making myself do. And I am probably a fifth into it and frustrated. So I'm either going to go out and spend the money and get me one of those Harbor Freight pipe threader kits, which I'm probably going to do because I've got, I think, 30 something more cuts to make unless I go buy pipe specific sizes for what I need. And as it is, I only bought 2 6-foot sticks, threads on each end, and I've got to cut both of those down. So I don't know. Uh, have you guys used foam cannons for car washing? Picked one up and absolutely love it. Yes, I love it. I've had one for 7 years now. I bought a Chemical Guys early on, Chemical Guys foam cannon, and I love it. Um, I don't wash my cars a whole lot anymore. My poor pickup, that real nice F-350 I've got. It's got uh, what is it? It's got like what is algae or something. The green, real small stuff that might grow on the side of your house in a real damp area. I've got that growing on my truck. You would think I live near a moonshiner, and that's possible. Except my trees don't get quite so bad with it. Used to use a foamer to wash semi trailers with acid. That acid, we had it at one of the trucking companies I worked at Beeline Express. It was a smaller trucking company out of Birmingham, Alabama. And they had it on the yard for when you come in, you can spray your truck down and wash it. I just hated what it done to the aluminum, especially if you wanted to have polished tanks. It would, yeah, you wouldn't have polished tanks after using that acid. Um, the Icon one looks good. I don't know if that'll do 1 inch though. I'll have to check. It's not. It would it really? It'd have to do 1 inch. I don't see why it wouldn't. That'd be crazy because you get much smaller than that, and you know you can do them by hand fairly easy. I just accidentally Harbor Freight tools, uh, pipe threader. Uh, okay, 12 amp. Okay, the heavy duty, the Bauer is 399. So the manual ones do, the cheaper one does the 1 inch, the next one does 2 inch. The Power Doyle and Bauer don't tell you, but the Doyle is $329.99 and the Bauer is $399, which I don't want to spend that much money. Where's the old cheap one, the Chicago Electric or whatever? Are they not showing it because they don't have it? Or are they not showing it because they don't want you to buy it? Let's just do straight up pipe threaders. Oh man, they don't have it no more. And I don't want to spend Oh, and this is just the threading kit, the die head kit for $329. The Doyle. Uh, the 12-amp heavy-duty portable electric pipe threader is $400. Does half-inch to 2-inch. Man, that's yeah. I'm not buying that. I guess I'm yeah doing it by hand. I don't see the Pittsburgh set. I see the Central Machinery do it by hand set. I'm looking again. No, they're not showing it. Let's see. A Vivor though is $199.99. Yeah, maybe they discontinued um the old one. Dang it. Now I'm disappointed. That's the biggest issue with this is it doesn't start. Now that I'm using that big bar, I can do it. It's just frustrating. Getting them to start, it might take me 10 minutes of twisting on that thing and pushing and twisting and pushing and twisting to get it to start. Let me see what all the uh, the Jungle Place has. Electric. Yeah, it looks like they're all over the place. Um, yeah, I may go see if I can find the right sizes. See what happens there. Okay, I'm through looking for that. That's it's got me sad though. I'm gonna look on. I want to finish that project this week, as well as get my lights and outlet wiring run. I kind of want to get my lights up, at least something temporarily up in that clean room, or I could choose to get the permanent deals up in the other under the big loft. Let's start calling the one I just finished the big loft. Call the other one the small loft, and then the one that I built first, call it the mezzanine. The one that's up against the wall that has all the shelves on it. Yeah, have it look. Let's see. Hey, have to Pittsburgh. Have a look in the wall. Could be mistaken. Beaver, I'm 50-50 with. It's a China brand, but some things work fabulous. But something in my life is on the line, like Jack. No, yeah, you're right. I won't buy a Jack or Jack stand from them. And the Harbor Freight, the newer line of Jacks, I've got one. I like it. I still am going to use Jack stands. I used to have Harbor Freight jack stands, and I left one under a car, and I was going to, what was I doing? I was going to roll the car off of one. It was kind of stuck in a position, and I couldn't get a jack in a place to do it or something. There's some reason. So I was just going to push the car because it was in a position where I could just push it off of it. It was an old junk car. This isn't something I would do with a good one. And it crushed it. It did come off of it, but it crushed it. So I've got one of them. I don't use it much. Any place you can rent one, that's a good idea. I didn't think of it, but I'm sure I can. The low pro 3-ton we use with jack stands. I don't monkey with Harbor Freight jack stands. I've seen a thing or two online. Yeah, I agree. I don't. It's hard to put your faith in it. I bet they're great, and I see people using them online all the time, the newer ones. But it's just, you know, if you were around back when everything was orange and everything was still in big boxes, and sometimes you had to open a box to see what was inside it, and the stores looked like a dimly lit, where they were just a dimly lit small part of a warehouse. If you've been around since and shopping with Harbor Freight that long, you probably have some uneasiness with using some of these things like that. So, and I've been around that long. I, the first Harbor Freight I ever remember going into, and I bet you this isn't the first one, but it's the one I remember. And that scenario is exactly what I just described. Is exactly what it was. It was in Colorado Springs, sometime between 2001 and 2004. I had to be, and it couldn't have been anywhere 2000. Let's see, it couldn't have been anywhere 2000, April 2003 to March 2004, because I was in Iraq. So, there's a roughly 2.25 year span there where I went to that Harbor Freight. So it hasn't been that long since they've really beefed up their game and started making it look like a actual decent retail store. And have y'all noticed it doesn't smell like Chinese plastic in there quite as much anymore? Well, I've got to where I'm not smelling it quite as much. Have y'all noticed that? Jack, my drive on lift is straight from China, but after 1,260 lifts, I'm just starting to trust it. Yeah. So I've got that under deal, Jack, just for that reason. Partly. It's good to have them anyway. Oh, news on the car lift. I know we had talked about me putting a steel plate down there. Well, I called up the company that I bought it from, and of course they don't recommend it. They said we just can't. Um, and it hurts them either. It doesn't hurt them by telling me I could use it if I actually could, if they, you know, it just hurts them if I use it and it fails and there's a liability. I don't. I guess they haven't tested it that way. Um, but then I asked AI, and it gave me some pretty good answers, pretty well thought out answers. Because of school, I've got a free subscription to the Google one, and it's like the full power one, and it will give you detailed information on why. It'll break it down to engineering standards, all kind of stuff. So I guess someone's cutting my concrete. It may not be me. I may hire someone to do it. I don't know. Um, we'll see. And I might buy me a bunch of tarps and cover everything up this time. I don't know. My drive on the. We used to have these companies bring semi loads, tools to a local Legion club, set up displays inside and sell. That's cool. Got a 3.5 ton jack and stands for them. Jack lasted 25 years. Stands are solid, still solid. Yeah, here's the thing: you trust sometimes what you have to. I will tell you, the older you get, how do I say, the more fears you acquire. And I say that to say you become more attuned to things that can do you bodily harm. And you try to start being more careful. Now, look, that's a generalization. It's not always true, but I've found myself doing things safer in my older years, but still find myself taking shortcuts. Like, yesterday I was using my mag drill to drill holes in my one of my welding tables so I could mount a vise to do these pipes, because I tried them on a vise mounted on my wooden table and it just wasn't heavy enough, and I was moving it all over the place. But I wasn't wearing safety glasses. And while it doesn't spit out uh, steel too bad, every now and then it'll sling a piece. And yeah. So, yeah, but I take care of myself just a little bit better than I did, and all this other stuff. I don't want to breathe in all the dust from the concrete. 10, 15 years ago, I'd have said F it and just did it. So it is what it is, Ron. I've gotten stuff from those semi truck tool cells before, and all of it I'm still using. Yeah. I'm not sure if I remember any of those. Was that the parking lot sales? You talking about the parking lot sales that Harbor Freight would do? I do remember our Harbor Freight in Clarksville, Tennessee. This would have been sometime between 2012 or before 2012. They would do parking lot sales, and they would have a trailer, big trailer parked out front, and they'd have stuff selling out of it too. Commissaries used to do that. The military grocery store, they used to do that once a month or so, and you can buy bulk, cases of stuff. It was pretty neat. It helped us save a little money. Commissary isn't always the cheapest, but it is. How you doing, Warren? Good to see you in here. I probably should be wrapping it up now, but we'll wrap it up when it's time. when it's naturally timed. But is that what y'all were talking about? The semi truck, the Harbor Freight, when they do the parking lot sales? Let's see. Two were Cummins Tools and Home Year. Used to come around here. Okay. I've seen Cummins Tools. I've actually seen a bunch of their like drill presses and stuff like that. Do you know I told y'all about projects? All of this is paint protection film to do my new toolbox. Plus the baby shampoo and the alcohol. Here's what 3M recommends. First, they recommend X amount of baby shampoo per bottle as your cleaner, or not cleaner. Yet, well, clean it, wipe that off, and then spray it on again, as you know, and it lets it move around. And then the X amount of alcohol and water per bottle. I got to go get me some distilled water. That is to seal the corners, the edges. So our store, Swear Hides Icon Tools in the back. My store is always out of anything, even slightly new. The only thing is they seem to have, you know, the new little mini ratchet set that come out. For some reason, they've been able to keep it in stock. And, well, I say for some reason, it wasn't quite as popular as the little mini kit. I think they messed it up. They messed it up. They could have added just a few things to that mini kit, like some sockets. And I don't know, maybe one other thing. And it would have been great. But when they changed their ratchet and done a few other things, they messed it up, I think. And I think people don't like it quite as much. I like mine, my older one, but I saw the new ones and I just, one, I don't like the price. Two, yeah, it's nothing special. The old little mini kit, it was neat. It filled a tool. I want to say need, maybe not need, but it filled a vacuum that I hadn't found anything else quite fill it in that small of a deal. But the new one doesn't, you know. I'm debating picking up a Quinn half-inch set for the parking lot sale just to fill in the blanks, but I have so many sockets. I understand. So they're still not super cheap. Some of them would still be about $10, $11, $12 a piece. But I'm thinking about filling in my Snap-on, the holes I have in my Snap-on sockets, using my son's school Snap-on account. But I don't know. It's still expensive. And to fill in, you know, to buy like 4 sockets or something, I'd probably be about 6. It would probably cost me $100. And that just, I don't know. But I'll always look at those where I've got something else in the place of a Snap-on socket, and I'll be like, you know, frustrated because I'm missing some. You know, because I've got Stanley and Craftsman and everything. They're good, but they're just not the same. I have seen the Craftsman singles at Lowe's. I can't remember the price, but I imagine they're not cheap. They never sell singles at a decent price. Those are one of those things that are, you're only going to buy a single when you need it. It's a purpose thing, and you're going to pay the price because you need it, and you don't want to buy a whole kit, or maybe you can't afford a whole kit. I would do the same thing for bigger sockets. I would go to Amazon. I would go to AutoZone and pick up the big socket I needed, and it would be just one or two. And I've got some of those, still use them. One of them I used on a my neighbor's lawnmower. I couldn't, it wouldn't fit down in the space it needed to. The walls were too thick. So I chucked it up on my lathe and I made it a thin wall socket. And let me tell you, the steel coming off of that, I guess it's chrome moly or chrome vanadium. Chrome, is it chrome vanadium? They do chrome sockets. I don't know, whatever it is. It would come off red hot. Now my bit didn't get super hot, but for some reason the chips coming off that socket were like little bitty fine pieces of molten lava. It was kind of cool to watch. I might have had I don't know if I had the speed too fast or too slow. I don't know how to use my lathe. I'm going to admit that straight up. I know how to use it to do what I need to do, but I couldn't do anything fancy with it in no way, shape, or form. So there's that. Uh, Icon having problems with the ball joint press, frame breaks in half, has resulted in injuries. Yeah, I've seen some things like that. First, I thought it was a joke, not a joke, but some bullshit that people spread to try to, because you know, a lot of haters, a lot of people hate Icon and Harbor Freight, just like a lot of people hate Snap-on, and a lot of people hate this company and that company and the other one. So when the first one or so come out, I was like, they broke it, they abused it, because that's what we all say when we see someone broke a tool. Oh, you did whatever to that. But I've got to notice it more and more, and I'm fine with my Astro pneumatic. I might buy the Goliath, but I'm fine with my Astro pneumatic. I have put some torque on that sucker. And I use an impact on it, and you're not supposed to. And yeah. See, $7 for a quarter, $8 for 3/8, and $10 per half. Yeah, that's too expensive. As it gets up into the half, that ain't quite so horrible. But $7 for a quarter-inch socket, a quarter-inch drive socket, that's crazy. Technic is a good place to buy singles, fill in missing sockets. If you need just one, okay. Laugh out loud. Menards Master File is good for singles. They do have a lot of singles. Snap-on sockets, buy on eBay. Last one was quarter-inch drive 7 universals. $38, 56 new. Wow. I was going to say eBay is your Snap-on is older to match your set. Yeah, that would probably bother me too, that it didn't match, but it wouldn't bother me quite as much. The Snap-on, I've got Snap-on Deep Well 3/8 drive for 3/8. I mean for SAE and metric, and I bought them both off of the forums on tooljournal.com. Who here has been on tooljournal.com? Is it Tool Journal? Now I gotta look. I used to be a junkie. I was on there all the time. Let's see if it comes up. Oh, I was going to love my texting stuff. Works amazing. Haven't had a socket go down yet, and I've done some questionable work on them. Okay, tool journal. Let's do the tool garage journal. Garage journal. Y'all were probably like, what the world? What in the world is he talking about? It's garagejournal.com. Yep. Or yeah, the garage journal, garagejournal.com. Last time I went to it, I couldn't remember the name of the toolboxes that Tool Vault. I couldn't remember that name, or the place that would sell them and would sell seconds. And usually, they used to have a advertisement on Tool Garage Journal, but I don't think they do anymore. I think I went there and didn't have it, so it took me a while to find it. I finally found it. I think you just look up Tool Vault, and one of the first sellers on there is the one that does it. Garage Journal used to be a great place to go tools, and it probably still is. Tool Conversation, Garage Conversation. There's this dude on there that has a compound. If you haven't been on there, you got to look. He's got a compound of garages. And one of his garages inside is huge. And along the sides of his garage, he's built a village, a bunch of storefronts. And you can actually like go in the storefronts, and they got all kind of stuff out. And I think he's in California or Arizona or something like that. It's crazy. But I followed this one where a guy bought a house with an old gas station in front, and it still had old tooling and stuff in it. The end floor lift, and he rejuvenated, and man, it's awesome stuff. It's addicting. Now, if you don't want to find another addiction, don't go. But yeah, Garage Journal. If you're into that sort of thing, yeah, you could spend some time there. He's got a web page as a front, and then you have to click forums to go to it. And anything you want to know, they got people on there that tell you their experience, exactly how they did this, like your flooring, your epoxy, what to do, what not to do, how to prepare it, everything. Your concrete, vintage tools. Yeah. The classifieds, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're still pretty decent anymore, where you aren't as likely to get scammed, but I don't know. Well, everyone, I am going to end this for tonight. I think we've been in here 1 hour and 23 minutes, and I'm sure it's time to shut her down. I got a few things I need to do, and before bedtime. So, thank y'all for coming in. Y'all have a great week. Have a great night. Again, thank y'all for joining me. I will see y'all again next week, and we'll do it again. 7:30, same bat time, same bat channel. See y'all next week. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. Y'all have a good one.